Hello dear chessmates, welcome to ModelMate. My name is Johannes Quack, I'm from Cologne in Germany and I am the host of a YouTube channel called Mustermatt, which is the German word for ModelMate. I will explain in a future video what exactly a ModelMate is. Mustermatt or ModelMate is all about problem chess. Currently, you will find more than 170 videos in addition to lots of playlists. There is just one snag. All the content is in German. I'm sure you're aware that YouTube has a translation tool, so you can watch all the videos with English captions, but they can be a bit of a drag. Anyway, to accommodate all you English speakers out there, I've decided to create a few videos in English. Today's video is my first attempt, and to get the ball rolling, I'm taking you straight to the nitty-gritty of the topic. What is a chess problem? A chess problem is a special kind of chess puzzle, which is to say, every problem is a puzzle, but not every puzzle is a problem. In this video I will deal with this conundrum and present one of the most outstanding chess problems. But before, I will show you two puzzles which are not problems as such. The first one, not at all. The second one, not exactly. On the board, we have a position I found on chess.com. And in German, this is called a Taktikaufgabe. In English, I think they just call it a chess puzzle. Black to move. What are you supposed to do? Your task is to find the best moves. You don't know how many, and you don't know what the result might be. It may be in the end the opponent king is mated. It may be that you have just won a pawn, or you have avoided your own loss. So the stipulation, i.e. the goal, is not exactly defined, but that is part of the fun. This puzzle is not too difficult, so perhaps you would like to pause the video as and when and give it a try. You may have noticed the fork on c2, but knight captures c2, check, fails to queen captures knight. The correct key move is pawn a4. The white queen has to move to c3, knight e4, and now the white queen is nearly trapped. White has to play queen captures c7, queen captures c7, bishop captures c7, and now your fork will work. Knight captures c2, check, king moves, knight captures rook, and black has a winning position. Why wouldn't you call this a chess problem? First, as I mentioned before, the stipulation is not clear. In a chess problem, the stipulation is, for instance, mate in 2, mate in 4, mate in 6, so you know exactly what your goal is. Second, a chess problem is always published with the name of its author, the so-called composer, and its source. Here we have a source, chess.com, but no name of any author, if there is one, and this puzzle hasn't been computer generated. Then, and that's a minor difference, in a chess problem it's always white to win. That's just a matter of default. The last difference is a major one. Let's imagine we would remove the two rooks on h8 and h1 and a few pawns Would that change the solution? No, not at all. So what purpose do these pieces serve? Obviously, to make the position looks more natural. This position looks a bit weird. Well, weirdness of position, that is a thing a chess composer wouldn't spend a second thinking about. In fact, more than 90% of all problem positions don't look as if they could ever be the result of a real chess game. What a composer does care about is a thing called economy of the material. No composer would put a piece on the board which isn't essential for that problem. So if you removed one piece of a problem chess position, either the solution wouldn't work anymore, or you would end up with additional solutions. One is as bad as the other. My second puzzle is an endgame study, or just a study. Studies are part of the problem chess realm, but they are part of the chess player's world as well, and generally their positions look quite natural. Many players don't mind to solve a study occasionally, but would never deal with problems. Our study here has an author, Mr. Kubbel, and a stipulation which is more precise than the one of the first puzzle: white wins. And you can be sure there are no superfluous pieces on the board. This example is much harder to solve than the first one. White is materially superior, but if black manages to promote his pawn, he is in trouble. To prevent immediate a2, white has to sacrifice his knight. a2 is answered by knight b4 check, so the king captures the knight. Bishop f6 threatens bishop captures d4. King d5. d3. Finally, the black pawn can move. But now white starts an attack. c4 check. If black captures en passant, bishop captures c3 and black loses everything. So of course, king c5. How can white now prevent the black promotion? He needn't. King b7, and that is a surprising mate threat. If a1 queen, bishop e7 is mate. Black has to move his king, and after bishop captures d4, white wins easily. And this is a real chess problem, made in 3 by the German composer Ado Krämer. Certainly not a position you would expect at the end of a game. White to win would be a pretty pointless stipulation, but to mate in 3 moves, that is a challenge. How could we start? Moving the rook on the 7th row to threaten queen a8 mate is tempting, but leads to a stalemate. Perhaps rook b5. After king g7, queen b7 check. King f6 is followed by rook b6 mate. If king h6, white promotes. h8 queen. But what is our answer to king h8? We have none. If you like, pause the video and try to find the only move to mate in 3. The key is quite spectacular. Rook b1. The rook moves away from the white target as far as possible. After king g7, queen b7 check. We know the continuation after king f6 and king h6. But now we have an answer to king h8 as well. Queen b2 mate. This idea is called clearing or bristle in the problem chess terminology, and Kramer has managed to show it with a minimum of material, a classic masterpiece. And there are hundreds of masterpieces to discover if you start to deal with problem chess by checking out the Mustermatt channel, for example. You'll find a link to my channel in the video description. This video won't be the last one in English. If you subscribe to the channel, you won't miss the next ones. I hope you have enjoyed this video. All the best and solve your problems.